Imagine a scenario where the harsh, unforgiving environment of the Sahara Desert becomes the new home for two of nature's most iconic big cats, the lion and the tiger. In this wild hypothetical, we must explore which species would have a greater chance of survival in an environment characterized by scorching temperatures, relentless aridity, and sparse vegetation. The Sahara, known for its extreme heat during the day, frigid cold at night, and minimal water sources, presents a set of challenges that neither species has evolved to face in their native habitats. Yet, the resilience of nature and the capacity for adaptation invite us to consider how the innate traits of lions and tigers might come into play when the rules of survival are rewritten on a vast desert canvas. When considering the ability to tolerate high temperatures, one of the first aspects to examine is the physiological makeup of each species. Lions, native primarily to the African savannas and grasslands, have evolved to cope with high ambient temperatures. Their relatively short, light-colored coats help reflect sunlight, and their bodies are designed to dissipate heat during the scorching days of the African plains. Lions have a social lifestyle that often involves resting during the hottest parts of the day, a behavior that minimizes energy expenditure and reduces exposure to extreme heat. This adaptation to life in open, sun-drenched environments suggests that lions might have an advantage when faced with the relentless heat of the Sahara. Their hunting strategies, which include stalking prey during the cooler dawn and dusk hours, could be somewhat transferable to desert life, where the temperature fluctuations are dramatic yet predictable. In contrast, tigers typically inhabit dense forests, grasslands, and regions with abundant water sources, where the environment is considerably more humid and the climate less extreme in terms of temperature. Their thick, striped coats, which are superb for camouflage in shadowed forest environments, also serve as insulation in cooler, wetter climates. However, this same thick fur could become a liability in the searing heat of the desert. Tigers are not naturally adapted to dissipate excess heat in the same way that lions are. And their solitary nature, while beneficial for ambushing prey in dense cover, could prove disadvantageous in an open desert where shade is scarce and exposure to the sun is constant. Moreover, tigers generally have higher metabolic rates, which means they generate more internal heat, potentially making it more challenging for them to cope with the extreme temperatures of the Sahara. Water scarcity is perhaps the most critical challenge in the desert environment. And it is here that the competitive abilities of these predators come into sharp focus. In a landscape where water is as valuable as gold, the ability to locate, secure, and efficiently utilize water resources becomes the key to survival. Lions, with their evolution in the African savannas, have developed strategies to conserve water. They often travel during the cooler parts of the day and take refuge in shaded areas to minimize water loss through evaporation and panting. Their social structure also allows them to share resources and coordinate their movements in search of water sources. If forced to compete for water in the Sahara, lions might leverage their group dynamics to guard oases or waterholes, using their numbers and territorial instincts to deter intruders. Tigers, being solitary by nature, would face a significant challenge in a scenario where water is a limited and highly contested resource. Without the support of a group, a tiger would have to rely solely on its individual ability to locate water and defend its access to it. While tigers are capable swimmers and have been observed frequenting water sources in their native habitats, their solitary hunting style means that they might struggle to secure water when faced with aggressive competition from other predators. In a desert environment, where water might be confined to isolated pools or scarce oases, a solitary tiger could easily be outcompeted by a lion pride that is working together to control these vital areas. The differences in hunting strategies between lions and tigers also come into play when considering survival in the Sahara. Lions are adapted to the open plains, where their cooperative hunting methods allow them to take down large prey. Their social hunting tactics involve using coordinated ambushes and driving prey into traps, an approach that might be more effective in an environment where prey animals are forced to congregate around scarce water sources. In the Sahara, many herbivores, such as gazelles, oryx, and other desert-adapted species, tend to cluster around watering holes, creating opportunities for group predators like lions to capitalize on these gatherings. The lion pride's ability to work together to encircle and subdue prey could give them a significant edge in the desert, where every successful hunt is a crucial contribution to the group's overall survival. Tigers, on the other hand, are solitary hunters that depend on stealth, camouflage, and explosive power to capture prey. Their approach is generally one of patience and precision, stalking their quarry silently before pouncing with lethal force. While this method is highly effective in the dappled light of forests and jungles, it might be less so in the uniform, sun-baked expanses of the Sahara. The lack of cover and the harsh, reflective glare of the desert sun would make it difficult for a tiger to remain undetected. Furthermore, the prey available in the desert may have evolved to be highly alert and fast, using the open space to spot predators from a distance. Without the advantage of concealment, a tiger's ambush tactics could be severely compromised, forcing it to adapt a more direct and potentially less effective hunting strategy. In addition to these challenges, the behavioral flexibility required to thrive in such an extreme environment would necessitate significant evolutionary changes for both species. Lions, with their current adaptations, might be somewhat better prepared to handle the stresses of desert life. Given their history in arid, open environments, over time, natural selection could favor lions that are more efficient at conserving water, regulating body temperature, and coordinating group activities in search of food and water. Their social structure could evolve to include even tighter cooperation and communication, ensuring that the pride functions as a cohesive unit in an environment where every resource is hard-won. Behavioral changes such as increased nocturnal activity, the use of natural shelters like rocky outcrops or sparse vegetation for shade, and more efficient hunting techniques tailored to the desert landscape could all contribute to a lion's success in the Sahara. Tigers, however, would face an uphill battle in adapting to the same environment. The solitary nature of tigers means that any necessary changes in behavior would have to occur at the individual level, making it more difficult to spread adaptive traits throughout the population. While some tigers might eventually develop thicker, more heat-reflective coats or learn to conserve water more effectively, these changes would likely be slow and would not immediately overcome the significant disadvantages posed by the desert's relentless heat and scarcity of cover. Additionally, the lack of social structure means that tigers would not benefit from cooperative strategies when it comes to hunting or defending territory. This isolation could leave them vulnerable to not only the harsh environmental conditions but also to direct confrontations with more social and resourceful predators like lions. Another critical factor in this hypothetical showdown is the competition for water. In the Sahara, water is the ultimate prize, and its scarcity would create fierce competition among all animals, not just among predators. Lions, with their ability to work as a group, could potentially dominate these scarce water sources, using their numbers to deter other animals and to secure a consistent supply of the life-sustaining resource. The lion pride's collective behavior might include guarding waterholes, patrolling their territory, and even coordinating ambushes on any animal that dares to approach. This level of cooperation would be a significant advantage in the desert, where every drop of water counts. In contrast, a solitary tiger would be left to fend for itself in this cutthroat environment. While tigers are known to be opportunistic drinkers and can cover long distances in search of water, the competition for water in the desert would be relentless. The stress of constant water scarcity could lead to dehydration, reduced physical performance, and ultimately a higher mortality rate, even if a tiger managed to locate an oasis or a seasonal waterhole. The risk of encountering a lion pride defending the resource would be high. In such a scenario, the tiger would be forced into direct confrontation, and its solitary nature would leave it at a disadvantage against a coordinated group of lions. Beyond the immediate physical and behavioral challenges, the broader ecological impact of living in the Sahara would force both species to adapt in unforeseen ways. The desert environment is not only about extreme heat and water scarcity, it is also about survival in a landscape that has been shaped by relentless sandstorms, shifting dunes, and an ever-changing climate. Adaptations that might prove beneficial in such an environment could include a more efficient respiratory system to handle dusty, dry air. Modifications to the skin and fur to better reflect or absorb heat is needed, and even changes in digestive efficiency to extract maximum moisture and nutrients from scarce food sources. These adaptations would likely occur over thousands of generations and would require a significant departure from the animal's current physiological and behavioral norms. The tiger, with its current genetic makeup, would likely need to undergo a radical transformation to survive in such conditions. Its large, muscular body, while advantageous for ambush and short bursts of speed in forested environments, might become a liability under the constant strain of desert heat. The tiger's thick fur, designed to provide camouflage and insulation in a jungle setting, could trap too much heat in the desert, leading to overheating and exhaustion, without a significant shift in its physiology, such as a reduction in body size, a change in coat color or texture, or an alteration in metabolic rate. The tiger may find itself outmatched by the extreme demands of the Sahara. Lions, on the other hand, already have some adaptations that might offer a better chance of survival. Their experience living in arid and semi-arid environments across Africa means that lions are somewhat better equipped to handle high temperatures and the challenges of open, sunlit landscapes. Their lighter coat color compared to taiga's darker stripes could reflect more sunlight, helping to keep them cooler during the day. Moreover, the social nature of lions allows for a more flexible approach to resource management. A lion pride can move collectively in search of water and shade, share the burden of long-distance travel, and support each other in times of scarcity. This communal resilience could be the key to establishing a stable population in the harsh conditions of the Sahara. As the hypothetical struggle for dominance unfolds, the dynamics of predator-prey relationships in the desert would also shift. Prey animals in the Sahara, such as various antelope species, gazelles, and even desert-adapted rodents, have evolved to be highly alert and efficient at conserving water and energy. These animals tend to migrate in response to seasonal changes and have developed keen senses to detect predators in an open landscape. A lion pride, with its cooperative hunting strategies, might adapt by using their numbers to herd and trap these prey animals near water sources or in areas where cover is available. In doing so, they could secure a reliable food supply that would bolster their chances of survival and maintain their dominance over the desert. The tiger, facing the same prey but without the advantage of group coordination, would need to innovate its own tactics. It might rely on its solitary stealth to ambush prey at night when the desert cools down. Or it might use the sparse vegetation that occasionally dots the landscape as cover for its hunts. However, the lack of a social structure means that even successful hunts would have to be repeated frequently to sustain the tiger, as it would not benefit from the efficiency gains of shared responsibility. Over time, the stress of continuous hunting, coupled with the physiological demands of surviving in a hot, arid climate, could diminish the tiger's physical condition and reproductive success. In the contest for water, a resource so critical in the desert, lions would likely have a substantial advantage. The pride's ability to coordinate and defend a waterhole means that the collective strength of the group could repel solitary intruders, including a lone tiger. A tiger that ventured too close to a guarded water source would face the full force of a lion pride's defense, a confrontation that would almost certainly end in its favor due to the lion's numerical superiority and cooperative tactics. In contrast, if a tiger managed to secure a small, isolated water source, it would have to fend off occasional challenges on its own, a daunting task in an environment where every drop of water is fiercely contested. The theoretical exploration of tigers versus lions in the Sahara Desert is more than just a speculative exercise in survival. It is a window into the intricate interplay of evolution, behavior, and ecology. Both species are apex predators in their native habitats, yet their very existence is tied to specific environmental conditions that have shaped their behavior over millennia. When placed in a radically different context, such as the unforgiving landscape of the Sahara, the strengths and weaknesses that have defined them are thrown into sharp relief. The lion, with its inherent social cohesion and adaptation to open, sun-drenched environments, might be better positioned to endure the relentless heat and scarcity of water. The tiger, for all its solitary prowess and stealth, would struggle against the cumulative pressures of isolation, intense heat, and the need for frequent, successful hunts in a barren landscape. Ultimately, The outcome of this epic contest depends on a multitude of factors, from the physiological and behavioral adaptations of the animals to the shifting dynamics of the desert ecosystem itself. While lions might have a natural edge in terms of heat tolerance, water conservation, and cooperative survival, the raw power and agility of tigers cannot be entirely discounted. The clash between these two magnificent predators in the harsh environment of the Sahara would likely be a prolonged and brutal struggle, where every advantage, whether it be social cooperation or individual stealth, would be put to the ultimate test. In conclusion, when considering the survival of lions versus tigers in the unforgiving expanses of the Sahara Desert, it appears that lions may have the upper hand. Their evolutionary adaptations to arid, open environments, combined with their ability to work together as a cohesive unit to secure critical resources such as water and shade, would likely give them a distinct advantage over solitary tigers. The challenges of intense heat, scarce water, and the need to efficiently hunt in an environment where prey is highly alert would push tigers to their limits. Although the tiger's strength and stealth are formidable assets in many settings, the demands of the Sahara would likely favor the collective resilience and resourcefulness of lion prides. This hypothetical scenario not only highlights the remarkable adaptability of these apex predators but also serves as a powerful reminder of the intricate ways in which life evolves to meet the challenges of its environment.